larger set of grievances, and ultimately kind of anti-Islamic Republic and anti the leadership, and really you've got all kinds of then people coming to the streets to air their grievances and to try and strike and do what they can to send this message to the leaders of the regime. So it has been, so in this instance, we have this beginning to take place. And you are absolutely right to point to what are two quite distinct narratives that have, that are emerging. One, we have the protesters who note the severity of the crackdown. I mean, we have Iranian officials speaking about a death toll over 3,000, like 3,100. Which in the space mostly of 2 days, there were several hundred deaths that occurred in the first week or 10 days of these protests. But it was literally the 8th and the 9th of January when things really rocketed up. Now, the protesters attribute that to the fact that more and more people came out on the streets. They were much bolder, and that the security forces cracked down with absolute lethal force. And again, so many of the previous protests have gone on for weeks or even months, and it's been kind of a slow burn of protest followed by a slow burn of crackdown. So what we have never seen is in the space of 2 days, somewhere like 3,000 people dead. Human rights organizations are naming 3,900 fatalities, but then there are also estimates that can be 3, 4, or even 5 times that number. And I don't think we know yet what the actual what the number is, but what we do know is that this has absolutely rocked the Islamic Republic in ways that it hasn't before. And these particular protests, by the way, we have the counter narrative, which is now becoming much clearer on the part of the Islamic Republic. Its leadership says that these acceptable, peaceful protests by the Bazaris were hijacked basically by Israeli agents, by Americans, and others. Obviously, you had President Trump saying, "We are with you, keep protesting." But you also had Israeli officials basically say, "We've had Mossad agents on the ground. They're right there marching alongside you and everything else." So this has been a very convenient kind of off-ramp for the Islamic Republic to say that, well, all the violence is the real violence and killings has been, at the hands of these agents, and also to say that, really, this had nothing to do with us. And you're right to note that more than 100 of the security forces have also been killed. But it's really now a question of narratives and what's, and what's emerging. But ultimately,